how I make tender steak. 1 potato, some organic carrot, green pepper, red pepper, onion, garlic powder, adobo, steak seasoning, white vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, some homemade sofrito, Goya sauce, tomato sauce, and of course, cube steak. 4 cups of water and a pressure pot. Always wash your hands when you're handling meat. I like to start by rinsing my steak. Make sure there's no blood in there. Once I'm done rinsing my meat, I start off with some white vinegar. I take the top of the vinegar and I'll fill it up to the top and pour it on the steak about 3 or 4 times, making sure that the vinegar goes to all the pieces of the steaks. Then I'm going to take some adobo and distribute it evenly onto the steak on both sides. I put not too much, I just sprinkle a little bit. But of course, if you want to add more, go ahead, it's up to you. Now I'm going to put some garlic powder, same thing on both sides on each of the pieces. Now I'm going to pour some steak seasoning, same thing on each side, each piece, so that you can marinate it for a little bit. You want to let it sit for like 10 minutes after you're done doing all this. I'll put some olive oil, same thing on all pieces, both sides. While you let your steak marinate, you're going to cut your onions, as so. I'm only going to use half of the potato. I use 4 carrots. I used some red pepper, green pepper. I believe it was half of red and a little bit over half of green. Start with warming your pressure pot. You're going to pour some olive oil. You're going to saute the sofrito. If you want to see how I make my sofrito, let me know in the comment section and I will definitely make a separate video on that. Sofrito will make your food so delicious. It's very well worth making it. I like to take each piece of steak one at a time, just so that I can brown it a little bit for a few seconds. This is what you're gonna call sauteing, I guess. You're gonna saute your steaks first with the onions and the green peppers and all that. I'm just gonna speed this process up for you guys. I'm gonna do 1 piece of steak at a time, as you can see. Just brown it a little bit for a few seconds. Throw in my next piece and my next piece until I get all my pieces nice and brown, nice and sauteed. Now that we have all our pieces nice and brown, sauteing in the sofrito and in the olive oil, we're gonna throw in half of the can of the sauce, the tomato sauce, and mix it up a little bit. Now it's time to add the red pepper and the green pepper. Give it a little mix. Make sure that you saute that red and green pepper nicely with the steak. Add your onions. Do the same thing, mix it up really well. Make sure that everything is sauteing with the sofrito and the olive oil. I didn't use all of the onions. And I also forgot to mention a piece of garlic clove. You can throw that in there, mix it up, make sure that everything is sauteing. Forgot to mention that while you're marinating your steak and cutting up your veggies, you want to boil the 4 cups of water, because you're going to pour in that boiling water into your pot. You always want to use liquid when you're using your pressure cooker. So now it is time to put in your carrots. Throw in your carrots, throw in your potatoes, mix it well. I'm gonna add a little bit of sea salt for more flavor. I don't want it to taste bland, but I don't want it too salty, so just a little bit. So once you give it the last mix, it's time to put on the top. You're gonna cover it, and once you hear the sound, then you're gonna start. So now you want to start your 45 minutes. Okay, so now 45 minutes has passed. And look at this beautiful steak. Mm-mm-mm. Yummy. Just gonna serve it Puerto Rican style with some rice and beans and a little bit of salad. Time to devour this yummy, delicious meal. Let me know what you guys think. And if you have your own recipe, just put it in the comments so that we can see. And maybe I can try it out in my next video. I want to thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Enjoy.